You're about to be surprised by what I'm going to share. And if you're seeing this right now, it's no coincidence. You made a life-changing decision not long ago. Maybe you weren't even fully aware of how monumental it was. As a chosen one, you already know your path doesn't follow the usual script. It's laced with synchronicities and subtle signals that guide you towards something bigger. Before we dive into why your recent choice matters so much, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave 77 in the comments to send a powerful signal to the universe. Watch it on repeat if you want to deepen its impact. And remember, if you're a true chosen one, you'll stay until the very end. If not, you'll likely click away. Chapter 1. Sense of Readiness. Many chosen ones float through life with an undercurrent of anticipation. You might have felt it for years, a quiet pulse telling you that you're on the cusp of a grand shift. Yet that shift doesn't always announce itself with fanfare. Sometimes it whispers through small decisions you make without fully grasping their significance. The sense of readiness often builds gradually. One day, you wake up realizing you're no longer content with old patterns or a mundane existence. Your spirit craves something more. This craving becomes the soil from which you decide to alter your trajectory. That's likely what happened with the life-changing decision you made. Maybe you were tired of living in fear or frustrated by the same cyclical obstacles. Perhaps a spark of courage ignited you to say yes to a project that scared you, or no to a situation that stifled you. Even if it felt like a minor pivot, by changing a routine, departing a job, or confronting a personal limitation, that moment was a climax of all your previous yearnings and revelations. Your soul recognized the time was right to step into a new level of living, one aligned with your deeper purpose. You might have initially brushed it off as no big deal, but the universe treats each heartfelt act of courage as monumental. Think of it as the final puzzle piece in a tapestry you've been weaving unconsciously. The threads of your past struggles, your hidden hopes, and your quiet faith all merge at the instant you say, "I can't go back to who I was." That's the sense of readiness, a feeling that returning to your old life is no longer possible because your essence has outgrown it. You stand at a threshold, half excited, half terrified, convinced that the path ahead is the only one that resonates with your authenticity. Of course, not everyone around you recognizes the magnitude of this. Friends or family might see it as a whim or a phase, but you know better. Something inside you locked into place, severing ties with the version of you that was content to wait or compromise. From this point on, each day feels charged with a new clarity. Tasks that once bored you might appear as stepping stones, and random encounters echo with a sense of guidance. It's not that life becomes instantly easy, it's that your mindset has switched into, "I'm ready to embrace what's meant for me." Ultimately, this sense of readiness is your soul signaling that you've completed one chapter and are bold enough to open the next. You may not see the entire path, but you see enough to take a confident step forward. That's all the universe requires, your trust in the next step. And trust is what transforms a seemingly small choice into a life-changing pivot. A quiet turning point that your future self might look back on and say, "That was the day everything really began." Chapter 2. The intuitive nudge behind your decision. If you're a chosen one, you probably rely heavily on intuition, even if you don't always label it as such. Maybe you call it a gut feeling, a hunch, or just that sense. Regardless of the name, it's an inner guide that occasionally speaks louder than logic or external advice. This intuitive nudge often emerges right before a big decision, whispering, "Something has to change. You can do this, even if it seems scary." It's subtle yet persistent, refusing to be silenced by doubts or second-guessing. Looking back on your recent life-changing choice, you might recall how your intuition played a part. Perhaps you had a vivid dream that stayed with you for days. Or maybe you kept seeing certain symbols, like repeating numbers or recurring phrases in random places. These coincidences can act as cosmic signposts, prodding you to trust the path that's unfolding. You might find it uncanny how specific these signs felt, as if they were crafted just for you. That's not arrogance. It's the universe tailoring its messages to a soul that's actively listening. Sometimes the intuitive nudge isn't gentle at all. It can manifest as restlessness or even discontent with your current circumstances. You might have felt a nagging dissatisfaction that you tried to brush away, only for it to grow louder. It's not that your life was terrible, but you sensed an absence of alignment. The more you resisted, the more uneasy you became. Eventually, you realized ignoring this call was draining you, so you surrendered, admitting you couldn't keep living in half-truths, prompting the big decision you made. For many chosen ones, logic and intuition have a delicate dance. You may have tried to rationalize your circumstances, pointing to stable paychecks or familiar relationships as reasons to stay put. Yet logic alone couldn't drown out the voice urging you onward. You might have conducted endless pro and con lists, only to find them inconclusive. The tipping point arrived when you realized that your inner voice, your spiritual sense of direction, was more trustworthy than 1,000 external opinions. It's as though each rational argument against the move lost its persuasive power in the face of your soul's knowing. Now, having made that decision, you might realize your intuition was spot on. Even if the steps ahead appear uncertain, a sense of rightness underpins your new direction. Days feel lighter, or at least more meaningful, because you're no longer splitting your energy between living one way and yearning for another. This clarity is the payoff for respecting that mysterious inner guidance. Sure, challenges will arise, but the difference is you approach them with a sense of purpose rather than resignation. Ultimately, this intuitive nudge is your spirit's compass, guiding you toward a reality that resonates with your unique calling. While others may rely solely on analytics or public opinion, you embrace the intangible force that sees beyond conventional logic. The result? A choice that could redefine your life's course, unlocking doors and possibilities that remain hidden to those who ignore the whispers of their soul. Once you learn to trust that nudge, you'll find it's a faithful ally, one that never leads you astray, especially when everything else feels uncertain. Chapter 3. Why this choice is life-changing. You've made countless decisions before, some big, some trivial. So what makes this particular one so life-altering? In the cosmic sense, certain decisions function like pivot points. They not only alter your trajectory, but also shift the layers beneath your everyday existence. Maybe your choice was as simple as quitting a job that stifled you, walking away from a draining relationship, or investing in a dream you postpone. To outsiders, these moves can appear minor or routine, but in your heart, you recognize it as a radical break from a cycle that bound you. The life-changing aspect often lies in how the decision aligns with your core essence. So many of our choices are surface level, made to appease social norms or short-term comfort. In contrast, the choice you made resonates on a deeper frequency, echoing a truth you've long held but rarely acted upon. This alignment triggers ripple effects you can't fully predict. New people might appear in your orbit, resonating with the energy you finally dare to embody. Opportunities you once overlooked could seem glaringly obvious, urging you to seize them. Another hallmark is the internal shift you feel. For example, if you ended a toxic pattern, the relief isn't just emotional, it's spiritual. You sense a burdensome weight lifted, as if an invisible chain snapped. That release can pave the way for creativity, heightened intuition, or fresh vigor in your daily tasks. People around you might even comment that you seem different, without grasping that you've reoriented your entire perspective. That's how you know the decision transcends typical changes. It's rewiring your sense of possibility. Moreover, life-changing decisions often carry a self-accountability factor. Once you cross a certain threshold, say, you publicly announce a big move or commit financially to a plan, there's no easy turning back. This heightened accountability propels you to follow through. You find yourself more disciplined, more focused, because you've declared to the universe, and perhaps your network, that you're serious. Even if self-doubt creeps in, the momentum from such a declaration pushes you to adapt rather than retreat. A potent indicator is also the emotional intensity that surrounds this choice. Some nights you might lie awake, consumed with both excitement and nerves. A part of you wonders if you've gone too far, if you're stepping off the cliff. Yet another part buzzes with the sense that you're exactly where you need to be. That emotional jolt, fear and elation interwoven, signals that you've tapped into something profoundly transformative. It's the hallmark of real change, the kind that elevates your entire life story. Ultimately, a life-changing decision is one that realigns you with your highest truth. You'll see tangible changes soon, like shifts in your routine or breakthroughs in your career. But more importantly, you'll feel it on a soul level. You'll sense the universe conspiring in your favor, orchestrating events that confirm you made the right call. The resonance isn't fleeting, it grows stronger as you proceed. And that's how you differentiate a passing whim from a truly momentous choice. The fulfillment deepens over time, weaving into every corner of your existence, shaping your identity as a chosen one who dares to claim the reality you've always envisioned. Chapter 4: The Cosmic Support Rallying Behind You. When you make a decision that aligns with your deeper calling, you often trigger a wave of cosmic support you never anticipated. Suddenly, odd coincidences accumulate. You meet a mentor who has the exact expertise you need, or a friend calls at the perfect time to offer resources you've been lacking. It's as if the universe acknowledges your courage and responds by arranging a support system that transcends ordinary planning. You might even find your energy levels boosted or your intuition sharpened, as though an invisible hand is gently guiding each step. This phenomenon might feel uncanny at first. Maybe you casually mention a new project to someone who replies, "I know the perfect person for that," linking you to a solution that once seemed out of reach. While skeptics dismiss such events as luck, you recognize a design at work. As a chosen one, you sense that these coincidences are the universe whispering, "Keep going. You're on the right track." Sometimes it can border on surreal, like opening a book randomly and seeing the exact phrase that answers your dilemma. Part of why this cosmic support emerges is your newfound clarity. When you're hesitant, your energy emits signals that confuse universal forces. But once you commit wholeheartedly to your life-changing decision, your frequency steadies, sending out a clear call for help. This clarity fosters synchronicities that bring people, tools, or insights in a near-effortless manner. The universe adores purposeful action. Once it sees your seriousness, it meets you more than halfway, ensuring you're not slogging through obstacles alone. Another angle is ancestral or spiritual guidance. You might dream of departed relatives offering symbolic advice or experience uncanny nudges from an unexplained source. Many chosen ones recount episodes where they almost sense a guardian angel or protective presence nudging them away from pitfalls. Whether you interpret this as angelic, ancestral, or simply your higher self, the effect is consistent. You feel accompanied by a force that wants your decision to blossom into full-scale transformation. Of course, cosmic support doesn't exclude the usual human effort. You still have to do the legwork, researching, networking, or honing your craft. But you'll notice that your effort yields outsized results compared to the same tasks done in the past. Obstacles shrink or transform into learning experiences rather than deal breakers. If a door closes, another opens swiftly, almost as if orchestrated by an unseen manager scheduling your next appointment. All this cosmic support might feel exhilarating, yet slightly intimidating. You realize the universe invests in you because your chosen path has significance beyond your personal gain. The blessings you receive can ripple out to benefit communities, inspire others, or contribute to global awakening in small but meaningful ways. This sense of responsibility doesn't burden you. It invigorates you. You sense that your success is part of a grand tapestry, and each new ally or resource you gain confirms that you were never meant to accomplish your mission alone. So if you're noticing that the puzzle pieces are snapping into place with surprising ease, embrace it. Don't question whether you're worthy. Instead, interpret these gifts as cosmic green lights urging you to proceed. Lean into each new connection or resource with gratitude and curiosity. The more you participate in this divine flow, the deeper your synergy with universal forces becomes, the more it accelerates your life-changing decision toward even greater fulfillment. Chapter 5: Navigating People Who Don't Understand. No matter how aligned your choices are, some in your circle won't grasp your path. They may say you're being impulsive, blurt out, "You'll regret this," or project their own fears. This can sting, especially if it comes from those you respect. But chosen ones often tread roads beyond mainstream comfort zones. Practice compassionate detachment. Recognize that they speak from their vantage point, shaped by personal limitations. Their skepticism isn't always a personal attack, but a reflection of their worldview, where your decision seems risky. Detaching emotionally prevents needless conflicts. Remain kind but firm. If they stay negative, focus on your journey without engaging in prolonged debate. Consider setting boundaries around the topic. If discussions with certain individuals repeatedly spiral into criticism, gently steer the conversation elsewhere. You have every right to protect your mental space from constant doubts. In time, as you make tangible progress, naysayers may soften or even seek your advice. Look for supportive communities, mentors, or peers who've walked similar paths. Their experiences and validation reassure you that you're not alone. Hearing how they face doubt can recharge your confidence when external skepticism gets at you. Maintain humility. Being chosen doesn't mean you disregard valid points. At times, negative feedback might contain useful insights about details you overlooked. Listening can turn critics into cautious allies. Still, if objections don't resonate with your core belief, let them go without guilt. Accept that not everyone will cheer you on. Some prefer the status quo and feel unsettled by your growth. Others might envy your courage. Your best course is to keep moving forward, allowing your results to speak. As you reach milestones, critics may rethink their stance, openly apologizing or quietly reevaluating their initial doubts. Ultimately, forging ahead despite misunderstanding is part of the chosen journey. Turn doubt into evidence of your resilience and keep your vision in focus. Over time, your steadfastness can transform skeptics into observers who recognize the power of a life shaped by unwavering determination and courage. That's how you navigate those who don't understand, by not letting their limited view define or deter you. Chapter 6. Sustaining the transformation you've ignited. Once you make a transformative decision, the initial thrill can overshadow the effort required to maintain it. The surge of new possibilities might sustain you for a time, but routines or unforeseen issues will eventually test your resolve. The real question is, can you continue honoring your promise to yourself after the excitement fades? One effective tactic is scheduling regular check-ins, daily or weekly reflections to confirm whether your actions remain aligned with your new vision. If you vow to live more creatively, yet your schedule reverts to old patterns, a quick journaling session or Sunday review can reveal where you're slipping and how to correct course. This doesn't need to be cumbersome. It's a concise ritual that keeps you on track. Another critical piece is reshaping your self-identity. If you've always viewed yourself as timid, stepping into leadership may feel dissonant. Even if opportunities appear, you could sabotage them unconsciously. By consciously redefining who you aren't faking it. You're growing into the person your transformation requires. Positive affirmations, visualization, or even therapy can help anchor this new identity until it feels natural. Emotional maintenance is equally vital. Significant shifts can stir up hidden fears or insecurities. If you relocate to pursue a dream, loneliness or anxiety might surface. Address these emotions directly through honest conversations, spiritual practice, or counseling to safeguard your progress. Being chosen doesn't mean you never feel doubt. It means you handle it constructively rather than letting it derail you. Also consider the ripple effect. Your breakthrough can unsettle friends or family who are accustomed to the old you. Some might resent your changes or feel excluded. Approach this with empathy while maintaining firm boundaries. You're not responsible for others' discomfort. If preserving their peace means shrinking yourself, open dialogue can help, but you can resolve all the insecurities people project onto your journey. Finally, nourish your inspiration. Seek out books, interviews, or communities that reflect your chosen path. This external support keeps your motivation aflame, proving that large leaps are possible and that you're not alone in taking them. As you surround yourself with empowering influences, the long-term commitment becomes easier to uphold. Real transformation is a marathon, not a sprint. Momentum may dip, obstacles appear, and outdated beliefs resurface. Yet each challenge met with awareness and determination strengthens your resolve. By regularly checking in, redefining your identity, caring for your emotions, and fueling your spirit, you ensure that your bold pivot endures, becoming a lasting testament to what unfolds when unwavering will meets the universe's guiding grace. Chapter 7. The doors that open after you take the leap. Once you've made and sustained a life-changing decision, get ready for doors to open in areas you hadn't even considered. It's as though the universe recognizes that you've stepped into alignment, and now it's eager to reveal hidden paths that match your heightened frequency. Opportunities might sprout up in your career, personal life, or creative passions, often accompanied by a delightful feeling of, why didn't I see this before? That's the hallmark of alignment. Clarity merges with serendipity, fueling an unexpected but thrilling expansion. You might, for instance, find yourself networking with new circles where your ideas are not just accepted, but championed. A random conference invite or a friend's introduction can place you among people who resonate deeply with your mission. In these gatherings, synergy flourishes, forging collaborations that might have been impossible in your old context. You realize your previous hesitation or environment obscured these alliances. Now, with your decision made, the universe places them within reach. Financial flows can also shift dramatically. If you left a safe but soul-crushing job to pursue a vision, funds might arrive through side ventures, investments, or unexpected gifts. Often these financial blessings come precisely when you need them, reinforcing that you're divinely supported. While it may not be an instant jackpot, the consistent, timely nature of these monetary boosts is unmistakable. You see that your leap into authenticity doesn't lead to scarcity, but rather a new form of provision that thrives on faith and purposeful action. On the personal front, relationships might blossom. You can meet mentors who guide your growth or friends whose life outlooks rejuvenate your spirit. Even romantic connections may shift, either strengthening existing bonds with newfound understanding or drawing in someone who complements your awakened perspective. It's as if every interaction is magnetically curated to match the new you, making it easier to maintain momentum and avoid backsliding into self-limiting patterns. The most surprising doors, however, might be the internal ones. You discover latent talents or passions you never considered. Maybe your decision to relocate or switch careers triggers an interest in writing, public speaking, or healing arts. Freed from old constraints, your mind roams more freely, tapping into creative wells previously capped by fear or conformity. This internal exploration can be as gratifying as any external success. You begin seeing yourself not just as a doer of tasks, but as a multidimensional being with vast potential waiting to be realized. Ultimately, these newly opened doors are both a confirmation and an invitation. A confirmation that your leap of faith was not misguided. Indeed, life is unveiling new landscapes that suit the person you've become, and an invitation to keep evolving, to never settle, to treat each milestone as a launching pad for another wave of discovery. As you step through each threshold, you strengthen your commitment to living boldly and authentically. You embody the chosen one's path, consistently proving that daring to change your reality invites the universe to reciprocate with even grander horizons.